Our planet is undergoing rapid transformation due to the pressures of climate change, which results in increases in the frequency and intensity of natural disasters. In 2017, 2018, and 2021 were incredible bad fire seasons for BC, burning thousands of hectares of land. Many of these fires were in my territory, the Secwepemc Nation. These fires burned for more than 100 days and destroyed many homes as well as our Tamiuk. In our language, which is the Secwepemc language, it's a word means the land, the water, and the air, everything above and under the land. In the Secwepemc language, we have another word, Genxt. This translates to look after the land or it will turn on you. Climate change is the land's reciprocal reaction to how we have treated it. And the results is fires, floods, and other disasters from the land, air, and water. We have to look at decision making that impacts our environment and correct the lack of respect that government and industry have had for the land in the past. Forest fires are not uncommon and are part of the way that the land cleans itself. However, these mega fires are the result of a century of mismanagement of forestry practices combined with climate change. The heat from these large fires does incredible damage to the understory, animal habitat, and soil health. They create exposed soils that take a long time to heal. The understory is where our people collected Malaman. That's our medicines, teas, berries, and food. It is where the animals live who are vital to our existence because they feed us, they clothe us, and provide materials for our tools. This is where they live and we must look after them so they will look after us. We are connected to the Tamiuk and animals because we have been living alongside and studying them for thousands of years. First Nations will never stop learning from our Tamiuk. We must avoid ecosystem destruction and biodiversity loss. First Nations must strengthen our cultural and spiritual relationship to our ancestral territories. Climate change has rapidly disrupted our connection to the land, waters, and environment. The widespread, rapid, and intensifying movement of climate change make it challenging for us to be able to adapt. Part of this is because we are not equal partners at the table that makes decisions about the Tamiuk. Our people are out on the land every day. Our territorial stewardship officers watch for people mistreating the understory, the land. They watch for over-harvesting, such as fishing and hunting, littering, off-road vehicle damage, and water diversion, among many other things. The forests today are being mismanaged because they are being managed by people who do not live there. The laws made in Victoria are influenced by industry and people who do not have that connection and have 2 feet on the territories of the First Nation. These decisions must include Secwepemc law. These laws come from the land and animals and were handed to us by our ancestors to make sure there is protection and principles that must be considered for future generations. Our ancestors taught us that the Tamiuk is part of our blood, part of our way of life. We are to keep our people at the center of all, and our stamemelt, that's our children, are our future. Hold all sacred. Our knowledge and laws are built from thousands of years of studying, where these decision makers in Victoria often make their plans after studying the land for only months, not even a full seasonal round. Today, those decision makers in government come and go. Some may stay up to 2 years. First Nations are here forever because they have really no place to go. Guess what? Forever is a long time. A lot of the economy in BC and Canada are based on resources extracted from the lands, basically stolen from the land, with no sustainable plan to recover the resources that were taken. So when these mega fires swept through our territory, our knowledge keepers told us that there would be morel mushrooms that will be abundant in the burnt forest. Bringing in commercial and recreational harvesters, we knew that the size of these fires would bring thousands of harvesters, their vehicles and equipment, and months of intensive land use. So thinking of the future again, we knew we had to mitigate the negative impacts and ensure environmental protection. We had to plan safe operating practices, assert Secwepemc rights, title, and jurisdiction over the understory resources that were going to be extracted from our territory. To regulate these harvests, we set up permitting systems for the buyers that were purchasing mushrooms that were being harvested on our land. Pickers need a permit to harvest as well. This was one small way that First Nations can control the traffic on our resources being stolen from our land. We supplied designated campsites, complete with toilet facilities and garbage collection service. We did all this in co-management with the government. We see this as a form of reconciliation, a first step of getting back to the joint management that we have been talking about for years. Working with government to put these forests back to the right way with our laws and knowledge, we are ensuring that the rehabilitation work is respectful and our jurisdiction is recognized to restore this now fragile landscape. In the past, there has been a huge disconnect between government and First Nations, but this recent collaboration has been very successful. Adding industry to the mix brings all three to a good ethical space with shared values. We can do this by drawing on 10,000 years of First Nations observation, adaptation, and stewardship by the Secwepemc. We are all in this together, and our future will be brighter with this collaboration. Our laws will enhance the lives of everyone. So when we see recognition to the land, we will see revitalization of all ecosystems. In 2018, First Nations communities that were affected by the mega fires drafted a declaration on the understory within the forest of Secwepemc to guide the jurisdiction of the land.